Welcome to the Old Man Ranting from the Kitchen. I'm your host, William Lee, podcaster, podcast producer, and the publisher of many podcast shows now on the Disruptors Podcast Network. We're really excited. You know, you can check into what we're up to on the podcast network simply by going to Kiba, that's K-E-E-B-A, KibaSmiling.com, and you'll see what's going on. Meet my special guest when she's available. That's Candace Thompson, the co-founder of the network, and myself. And check it out. We got some good shows going on there and exciting videos coming up that will be on KibaSmiling.com. Now we're going to talk about my favorite subject, and that's B&G sponsored events. Another big event's coming up in November 5th, and you want to make that notation on your calendar. It's going to be at the First Christian Church again, over there at North 6th and North Orchard Street, right on the corner. Beautiful First Christian Church of Tacoma, 602 North Orchard. And there's going to be several vendors there with different products and ideas that'll give you some Christmas gift idea shopping. So you want to go over there right away and write this on your calendar. Want to be there between the hours of 10 till 5. Remember, the whole family's invited. Parking is unlimited and free, and no charge at the door. So come on out. It's a special event. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Bill and Gail put together sensational vendor opportunities. And if you are interested in becoming one of their vendors, you can get a hold of Gail at, here's the magic email address. It's bookworm234@aol.com. That's bookworm, but remember now, you spell book with only one O. So that's book, B-O-K, worm, W-R-M, 234@aol.com. Yes, folks, AOL is still in existence. Well, let's move on with the show because we've got a lot of things to talk about today. And I'll tell you what, the biggest thing I've got to talk about that just absolutely makes me so mad is this absolute garbage on the media over the elections. Now, of course, there was years and years of political statements from the first time that we ever had an election. The candidates would either barnstorm or back in the 1800s, put out little pamphlets and attack their opponent. Oh, yeah, I was always attacking an opponent. But it wasn't anything like it is today. You know, we don't have what I call a Boston Tea Party. When I talk about Patty Murray, for instance, who has been in the office for 30 years. Wow, isn't that amazing? 30 years of not knowing who she is, where she is, or what she's doing. I thought that was really amazing. Now, anything that I say, and this is a disclaimer immediately, I'm really not putting it as a Democrat, nor am I putting it as a Republican. In fact, my philosophy on this whole thing is that 3 to 5% of Republicans are actually Republicans, and 3 to 5% of the Democrats are actually Demorats. So when I talk about these different types and divisions of the party, I'm not just singling out, those Republicans. You know, we should start a new party, in fact, because they've done so much great advertising on social media for it, is the Republican Party now. We should have the Trumpo Party. Yeah, Republican Trumpo Party. It seems like every time that you look on social media, newspapers, radio stations, wherever you go to get your news, there's always going to be at least 5 minutes of that damn Trump. I'm telling you that Democrats have spent probably $1 billion by now, if we could get an accounting, of smashing Trump, smashing the previous whole campaign as president, the previous function, policies, judge appointments, you name it. The Democrats, one piece at a time, have taken our tax dollars and attacked the old regime. Oh, it's been wonderful, hasn't it? I absolutely think that it's the most ridiculous waste of money and time that has ever been used on media. Now, I've been around for 73 years, and I've seen a lot of interesting people that were politicians. First president I ever remember was Eisenhower. Can't remember who the vice president was. But I remember the Eisenhower, the Kennedy, the Nixon, all these great debates and all the things that went on during the different elections and times that we have had political elections. Oh, you can remember Watergate, of course, and that was Nixon in his short term as president of the United States. Oh, what a scandal the Democrats had then. Just think of what they could do if at that time, at Watergate, they used as much money and much power and much yak as they have over Trump. Wow, for Watergate. That would have been written in the history books forever, wouldn't it? Well, it's a shame. That's all I'm going to say. Our younger generations lived through it, thank heavens, and now their attitude is, who gives a damn? We're not going to vote, because the paid politicians are going to do what they want to do anyway, and we just have to suffer. So it's easier for us not to vote, to just ignore things and move on. And folks, that is not an American way of thinking. You know, I get so mad because even my grandkids, I talk to them about this same issue. Ask them about what their political affiliations are, or if they're going to vote, what parties they're voting for, have they looked into any candidates, have they really studied the situation? And there, too, I get the same apathy that is just spreading across the globe. Who cares? They're going to do it their way anyway. If you've got money and you're in a political office and you can control something, you're just going to do it your way. So what is the sense of us stopping and voting? It's a shame. You know, when I see the American flag and I see those red stripes, it should be instantaneous for everybody that represents the blood of those who died protecting our country. How disgraceful can we be by not honoring and believing in what they died for? I mean, that is utter disgrace. It is hard to believe in America where there is a democracy. And I've been talking to gentlemen now that have explained to me what a democracy is and how we're not a democracy. We are corporations or something. And I wonder what happened to them. I really do. I wonder at birth if they had a concussion and fell off the delivery table, or what changed their thinking to come up with such an underground, gross bunch of opinions that I don't know how it connects to where we're at. Where is it founded? You know, the Constitution was an extremely well-written document. The Declaration of Independence is an extremely well-written document. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that these gentlemen, Ben Franklin, Light Horse Harry Lee, Thomas Jefferson, and I can go on with a list, they all were human beings, believe it or not. But they had the belief that they wanted to set up a country that they could achieve, own something, move technology, that they could become the leaders of the world. And they've done it. There's no documents, even Putin journal, that is as powerful as those documents are. This country, up until the last 10 years, was absolutely democracy, power, and was together to put together peace in the world, protect the citizens, bring dreams to reality, and build industries. And we did so until all of a sudden now that we send everything to China to have it repaired. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? We worry about being nuked by the little fat fellow in Korea, the man who I'm pretty sure is the shoeshine boy for Satan, the nuclear idiot of all times. Mao Zedong, you remember him, of course, or Stalin, or some of the great, unbelievable tyrants of this world who promised that they were going to nuke you or take you over, that you would give up, that they would win in the long term. I can remember in 1960s when Khrushchev took off his shoe at a podium and smashed it down on that podium and declared, "We will not raise the communist sickle flag over your country. You will raise our flag." Wow. Nice fellow. There's just no answer to what's going on in the world. We've seen a host of, I am convinced, people that's brain has been shrunk up. rearranged, and the devil has marked it for disposal. Mussolini, Adolf Hitler. We could go on with from that era all the way up to present time, leaving, of course, the grandstand show for our buddy Putin, who is out to break everybody's back, make Russia the country of the world, and now can't even control what day and what time his troops will arrive anywhere. Sad, isn't it? There's not much change going on in the world right now in the positive way. And a good friend of mine said, well, what do you think, Bill? How do you turn this around? I'll tell you what I think you should think about when we turn around this country. It's simple. We should turn around the factor that we can think and move in a positive direction through communication, through that moment that we sit down and have a conversation, which conversation has built this country. We can move mountains, literally. But right now, the only conversation we hear is, in 40 years she's been in office, she's just run the show right down the tube there, and I can't have a cup of coffee up here on top of the hill in Seattle because they closed her up. Too much violence, too much stuff going on, I'm telling you. Defunding of the police department, all that stuff, Abe. It's really caused a problem. What do you think about it, Abe?
I don't know, man. I'm only, I don't know.
This is the type of situation that the political statements that are going on in the air are projecting and making it to the point where it's positive. Negativity continuously. Let me give you an example of what could turn around and what does turn around, what turns the American spirit around. There's this fellow from, I think it's Britain, short guy in his 60s now, forgets to wear a shirt buttoned up, and has a franchise called, I think it's something like America's Got Talent. Oh, well, let me think about this for a minute. Holy smoke. Yeah, I think it is. And it's interesting to me if you ever take time to watch any of those shows. You know what the whole point of the show really ends up being? It's the promise. It is the full promise that you, if you have talent, can achieve in a positive light. If you really have something going for you, you can be accepted and achieved. And even if it's a moments of glory for 3 minutes on that stage, you become what you want to go and do in your life. You become somebody that has reached out and wants to reach his goal. There was a young lady on there, and her performing name was Nightbird. And Nightbird was dying of cancer. And I don't know if anybody had seen the show, but I know that over 25 million views on social media pointed out something that I, to this day, say that we had an angel that actually visited our earth. You know, she started out like any other young lady. She wanted to get into music. She loved it. She could sing. She could write. She had her ups and downs in her personal life and made a few mistakes like we all do on the road to learning, the road to living. And unfortunately, her life was cut short with cancer. But did she stop right away when she was diagnosed? Did she take a negative attitude? Well, I'm done. I cannot move any further, any faster. My dreams I'm going to just forget about because cancer is in my body. No, she appeared on a show that the world watches. She appeared there singing a song, That's Okay, It's Okay. And it was absolutely amazing at the message that she brought forth. Because it wasn't a message, it's okay to have cancer. It's okay to extend yourself in a positive light. It's okay to quit looking for the hard times and start living now, no matter what happens in the future. That's what this country needs. We need people to start standing up and saying, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay because we're in America and we are the power source that can make a difference if we communicate, if we sit down and have conversations, if we look at positive light, we can and we will succeed. It's okay. What a message she left, didn't she? At the age of 32, cancer took her from us, but left a message that I don't believe in my lifetime I'll ever forget. Those words, "it's okay," are so timely. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be any culture. It's okay to be able to dream. It's okay to have that family and to build your dreams of what you want to do in your lifetime here on earth. And it's okay to do it now. It's amazing, isn't it? To have somebody that nobody even really knew. She'd cut a couple of albums. She'd sing songs. She'd done a lot of things while she was a child, but nobody really knew who she was. And then in a moment's light, "It's okay," sung on the stage to millions, turned the world around. And that is the positive attitude that we need right now. We need to say, "It's okay. Let's bury the past. Let's live for the future. Let's set up goals for our kids. Let's build this country back and unite it even stronger than it is now." It's okay for us to move forward now. It's okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed our podcast today. This is the first one I've done on the Zoom P4K. Oh, boy, do I like it. Quite a piece of equipment. And it's really a new experience because, you see, even I can press a button. Yeah. And here's something that's very exciting also that I want you to remember. If no matter how you feel, okay, maybe your joints are kind of sore, you're kind of sluggish, or maybe you're fighting a weight problem, a sleep problem, or something of this nature, what you need to do is check out our Revealing Wholeness with Dr. Troy Munson, which is on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and your favorite platform. Take a listen to him while you're jogging, or maybe you're just sitting in the chair and you put on your headphones and you want to hear some information. Turn into those podcasts of Dr. Troy Munson at Infinity Whole Health. We've got a lot of shows out there on our network, on Spotify, and we'd enjoy having you tell us how you enjoy the show or what interest in situations that you would like to know more about. Nutrition is a big issue, and chiropractic is also the key to better living. Check it out. That's Dr. Troy Munson at Infinity Whole Health. His clinic is in downtown Ording, Washington, right on Washington Street. You can't miss it. Call him today. That's Dr. Troy Munson, and check him out on Revealing Wholeness or his newest show, Words of Radiance. You can also find him at infinitywholehealth.com. Now, what a great idea, huh? Alrighty. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just sit here and dream about politicians that should go home, and I'm not going to worry about what's going on up in Olympia or our taxation without representation in the state. Well, maybe I'll think about it for next week's show. Have a great time. Remember, only you can start a conversation.